Good morning, afternoon, and evening to all the viewers listening to us from whichever part of the world you may be. Tonight we have got with us Neil Shah, who is the CEO of Voltage Holdings and the founder of ASIN 360 Pro, and he's our guest tonight in Advanced PPC Week arranged by e-commerce. And tonight he's gonna let us know why and when Amazon PPC fails. So I'll let Neil continue from here.
Hey guys, thanks for joining. I appreciate you. The question on the table is why Amazon PPC can win and why it can fail to a degree. We're going to answer some things around that. I know, as I understand it, there are people of all levels of selling in here. So I'll try to define anything I may say that's language that you may not understand, and we'll talk about the beginners and intermediate and maybe some advanced things as we go along. I think the simplest thing for people to understand is why does in the simplest context, why would PPC work for one seller and not work for another seller? Why does it fail in its term? It may not actually be a failure. It just might be a decision as the business owner you make to determine what is considered winning for you. What's your number versus someone else's number? Now, in its most simplest terms, you have to have a good product, no doubt. You have to close that loop in the cycle of that product to the customer. If you don't do that, then everything we're going to talk about in the next few minutes doesn't make any sense at all. If you're just selling widgets and you're trying to sell the lowest cost value product, please understand that at least in the US market, that is going to fail you ultimately. So you want to create a great product because that actually backs into your ability to reach the right kinds of customers and be rewarded by Amazon's systems. For more traffic and propagation, and of course, lower cost ads, which is what a lot of us want. We want the low cost ads. We want a good tacos. We want decent cost numbers, but yet we still want to scale and grow and increase profitability, right? Those are most of the key metrics we want to see occur. Yep. So to do that, it really, in my mind, PPC is actually a reverse of what you might think I'm going to tell you. It is finding the great product in a great market competition with good profit or great profitability, which is the first thing that Voltage focuses on in terms of our metrics. If I have profit enough to acquire the customer, then I want you to hear what my strategy is, and then you can learn how to adapt that for yourself. To get that product in that competition, a market share, I'm going to go in and buy up all the available traffic and market share, mostly at costs that others are not willing to sustain, but I'm willing to do that, because I'm going to prove to Amazon's algo and system that I am the better product. That means I will run my ACoS up to 125% or more to acquire those customers into my brand. Now, when I see certain metrics occur, then this will work. It will work because I have the profitability to do that. It will work because I understand my market and competition and how to approach them correctly. And it will work because I have more products than just one to sell to them in my brand. And it will also work because I will see a lower total cost, tacos, once I see certain growth in my organic brand rankings. Then I will see even a lower tacos than my ACoS goal. So I may be running 125% ACoS and acquiring all the customers that you and I might be competing for, but my total cost of sales, average cost of sales, is going to be lower, right? It could be as low as like 7%. So how does that relationship work? It has really to do with understanding that in the PPC world, Amazon is set to win. In my mind, they're really stacking the cards similar to going to Vegas, right, and playing. But you got to know the game well enough. You got to know what you're playing enough to understand how the game is sort of rigged in favor of Amazon, but then how to correctly navigate that so you don't just give them money for the sake of giving them money. And when I'm talking about running 125% ACoS, I'm not talking about just giving them money, to be clear. While I may be paying more than the cost of the initial acquisition for said product, what I'm going to do through the PPC is I'm going to see that reciprocal organic ranking come back. And when that ranking reaches 40, 50, 60% of my sales, I'm going to increase my budgets because I'm going to continue to acquire those customers that the engine is sending to me instead of sending to you, now my competition. And you not recognizing what's happening, maybe because you're a new seller or you're immature in the market, or you're just getting to a novice selling stage in your business and model, have not understood that people like me on the market will acquire the market share of whatever it costs to acquire that. I will take the leads at what it costs to acquire those leads, and then I will make them profitable through my additional marketing. Okay, through the additional products I have, through packaging, emailing, and other things. I will shoot for something right out of the gate that I want you all to understand, and that is a customer lifetime value of 12 months at $1,000. Okay, I want those customers that I acquire to spend up to $1,000 with me in the first year of their existence with my brand. When you understand these metrics, you understand why I will play a much more aggressive PPC game with my product launches than most people understand when they are learning how to do PPC. Does that make sense, Osama?
It does, but I've got a question for you
Sure.
that at Voltage, how you guys manage to find so many products? Because I've been on asyn360.com and I've seen the feedback from your clients,
Yes,
and it's amazing, and all of them are happy with the services you provide.
correct.
But I'm curious to know that how do you guys do that?
So one of the things we developed a long time ago was a very concise understanding of Amazon's engine. All right, this filing system inside of Amazon. All right, it's run by an artificial intelligence. The world refers to it originally as A9. Now it's referred to as the A10 engine, which is really just the A9 with new wheels.
Okay.
It has upgrades and leather seats and air conditioning in the seats. It's really still the core of that original engine. There are just updates they made to compliance bots and other things to try to make competition and fake reviews and other things be as fair as possible in the system, so that they don't verge into antitrust areas, even though they're initially being told at this point that they've gotten close to some of that, even with their own house brands, which is why just in the last week or two, they've actually started to say they're going to shut down their house brands to try to avoid
Okay.
any positions of antitrust with the consumer, which is cool. It's great for those of us who are in the brand market. But at the same time, we never really felt we were competing with Amazon anyways, because they have the lowest rated brands across their own system. And they were the lowest profitable brands anyways, so they're out the door. So why are we finding those products? Is because we have a data set, right? We have a data set and an algo that we developed when we understood how the engine has been running. And for literally the last 9 years, we've been developing our process of evaluating and establishing product research and profitability of product first. We stayed
Okay.
focused on those fundamentals, while others have tried to
Okay.
game the system with reviews and play all this cat and mouse stuff. While the rise of FBA arbitrage and wholesaling and all this other stuff has risen up, we stayed focused on branding with private label brands and stayed very focused on the fundamentals of the business first, and profitability and growth, sustainable growth through the business, and then scalability and exit. Okay, 3 primary focuses that Voltage has stayed focused on. So when we do that, we bring our clients into a very good understanding of the need of the money, the capital, the product type that actually will go out and compete at a level of significant value by launching 8-figure brand expectations. Okay, we have an 8-figure brand expectation in my company for our products. We simply extend that expectation to our clients and then show them exactly what it's going to take to go to that market based on time, money, and activities that they will complete. So when they come and get involved, they understand very clearly they're going into a domination strategy. They're going into an expectation of the time and the capital and the requirements necessary to do that. We're not telling them that you can do a 7-figure business in year 1 with a couple $1,000s. So right out of the gate, we're setting a very different level of expectation with our clients. We're giving them the tools and technology that we have developed to go out and do that faster and easier and to find those products based on our data set. Okay, we've done over 100 million in sales from ourselves and our clients. Our largest case, it's actually way more than that, but I don't like to say it because it sounds really weird. But it's closer to $500 million in sales. One of my largest students had done over 45 million a year on Amazon, right? From the 0 to 45 million. They did 60 million before they closed it down. They had an additional 120 million in direct to consumer sales on top of the brand they started with Amazon, about a $200 million a year company. So the end result is I understand scale, and the products and the customers we go after in Amazon are the ones who are more solution and affinity based. They want to pay for higher product quality, so they're willing to pay more. And because of that, there's more profit in it for us. And because there's more profit in it for us, we can attack the system a lot harder. And so we found about 6% of those products in Amazon that reach those goals. And that's 6% of the product database that meets our about 49 different criteria data points from all of our clients, our successful products and the niches within them. And we simply just go and launch those products. And then we continue to test those products until the system rewards us.